We saw a very physical clash in the reserves, and what will we see here in the big one between Lavington and Wodonga? Picked up here by the Wodonga side and cleared away by Wallace, and there's a scrimmage of players. Now Murphy's got it, but the umpire has blown the whistle and a free kick has been picked out. Oh, there's a couple of hefty ones being thrown here, and it's on the usual grand final scrimmage, and away they go.
They've gone for Hamilton. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. She's on the usual grand final, and Hamilton was the player they were looking for. It's all over the ground. All over the ground. There's a couple of players really decked out there. Burgess is out. Was that Burgess, number 8? He's out. A lot of players in it. And I felt the player that they were after there was Hamilton. Burgess started off the ground, on the ground, and there's a lot of players that certainly were meant to be put out of the game there.
Well, you see this happen all the time in the final series. I mean, you just expect it to happen in the opening minutes, and we've seen it again. It's not really what you classify as a great spectacle to see these players throwing fists all over the place.
Burgess in real trouble there at half forward for Wodonga too. He hasn't moved since he was knocked down behind play.
It's certainly got to stop. Umpires have got to start reporting players, and it's just not on. Burgess is still on the ground, hasn't moved, and I know he's just up on his feet now.
Well, I just mentioned that we did
still on down the forward line down there for.
Right. Well, it's on at the other end of the ground, but as I said earlier on, the reserves was a very, very physical clash indeed. There's no love lost between these two sides, and as I said, they certainly have dominated proceedings in the 80s, and it's on again right up here in the forward line. So I don't know when we're going to get any football underway here in the opening minutes of this game, and they're just throwing punches left, right, and centre, and away they go again. So this is not real good stuff for the opening start of the grand final for 1990, but I wonder when we'll get some football underway. Have a look at these two in the centre of the ground here. It's unbelievable.
Well, there's 2 minutes gone in this first quarter, and I'm sure that by the end of the match the punches will probably outweigh the possessions already. It really is a poor start. Wilson and Whitehead lining each other up there in the centre of the ground, but meanwhile there's a much larger fight down there on Lavington's forward line.
I think football is a poor loser in this, to be quite truthful.
Well, there's still players trying to get away from this fracas that's started here in the opening term of the 1990 grand final. It's breaking up a little now, but I think there's going to be a heck of a lot of pressure, and we'll see what the umpire's going to do. There must have been a number of players reported there because they were throwing punches without any problems indeed. You can see some blood on some players' faces there, but there must have been quite a few reported move in that particular
Well, I think we might have to run the umpires out another notebook because they haven't stopped writing since we've started. If we have started the game, I believe we have. The game has got underway, but by Joe, there's a bit of claret on a few faces out there at the moment, and there's no doubt in my mind that there was a few players that were meant to be put out of business early in the game.
Yeah, a couple of players were lined right up there for both sides, so it really started an all-in brawl, which has taken 3.5 minutes to clear. We've been playing 3.5 minutes, and it's on again down in Lavington's forward line. Well, it makes you wonder when it's going to stop, and on Wodonga's half-forward line as well.
Well, fellas, in these conditions, it's quite warm today, as you said, and in these conditions with this going on...
the umpires have got to bounce the ball and get the game on the way. It's very important because this will keep on going and they have to. Congratulations to the umpires. At least they've got it underway.
They might try and sort it out in some sort of way anyway, and Whitehead's got 50 metres to boot. Well, this could be the first score of the match. He'll only be kicking, he might be kicking from the goal square virtually, Whitehead.
Well, Nick, I'm not sure where the boundary umpires got ability to report, but certainly the reserve goal umpire's on the ground as well, and he's been riding furiously as well.
Right, well, Whitehead now is only about 15 metres out. The umpires had to do that to get things underway because it was absolutely ridiculous what was going on. But this is going to be a handy goal for the Wodonga side, and here's Ernie Whitehead, the captain. He's off target, I think. It was a bad kick, and only a minor score, so that was a terrible miss in the opening moments. But after the all-in brawl, things have got underway. Would you believe it's going to be a pretty late finish here because we're a late starting? So we'll see Stanlake, the fullback, take the kick out now for the Lavington side. So Stanlake coming out onto the outer side and looking for a lead there from Jones, but Jones couldn't pick up the ball, and here's a lead by Salinger, but it's a badly directed kick over his head and has been taken.